Greetings and welcome back. Let's take a look at where Teams stores uploaded files. When someone shares a file in a chat conversation, what happens behind the curtains? Data storage location in Teams is a big topic. And what you need to know at this stage is that Teams stores data in different locations, and for that, Teams uses SharePoint, Exchange Online, and OneDrive for Business. And when we talk about data, it includes chat messages, shared files, meeting recordings, email messages sent to channels, and other data types. The focus of this lesson is on two data storage types: uploaded or shared files in chat conversations and chat messages. First, let me get chat messages out of the way. Both one-on-one and group chats are stored in a chat service running in Azure. Chats are also stored in Exchange Online for information protection. However, these are not accessible immediately since they are stored in a hidden folder called Teams Chat within the user mailbox in Exchange Online. This folder contains all the chat conversations. Each member retains their own copy. This folder exists for data retention, litigation holds, and compliance. Let's now take a closer look at shared or uploaded files in Teams. When John shared the Contoso deal file with Alice, Teams stored the file in John's OneDrive for Business and gave Alice access rights. The same applies to group conversations, so if this was a group conversation between Alice, John, and Bob, and John shared the file, Teams will store the file in John's OneDrive for Business and give Alice and Bob the required access rights. Now, this is a key concept in Teams. Shared files in one-on-one and group chat conversations are stored in the sender's OneDrive for Business, and chat participants are given edit access rights. But where exactly does Teams store the files, and how are access rights assigned? Let's explore a couple of scenarios. When the file is uploaded from the local storage drive, Teams stores the files in the Microsoft Teams Chat Files folder in the sender's OneDrive for Business. So if I now go to John's OneDrive for Business, let me go to John's profile. So this is John's Teams profile. And before I do anything, let me go to just change this picture and give John Smith a nice picture. So if I go here and let me go to temp, so this is John. And let's save this one and close it. So now we have John here. Now if I go to John's OneDrive for Business, because John shared the files with Alice. So if I go to here, OneDrive, and then go to My Files. Now this is the folder, the Microsoft Teams Chat files. If I click on this, these are the Contoso deals files. If I click on this one, go to Manage Access. So we'll see that Alice Williams can edit. If I click on this one, then I can look at anyone with this link can edit. So this is the link. If I copy this link and give it to someone, they can edit, and we don't have direct access. So Teams just stored the file that I've uploaded or John Smith uploaded from his local drive to the folder, which is Microsoft Teams Chat Files in his OneDrive for Business, and gave Alice Williams the edit rights to the file. So let's close this one, and the same goes for this one because I've uploaded the file twice. Let's go back. And similarly, if Alice shared a locally stored file with John, Teams will upload the file to Alice's Microsoft Teams Chat Files folder in her OneDrive for Business and will give John Smith edit rights. Now, what if the file was shared from OneDrive for Business? So this is not locally stored file. So for example, if I come to here and upload the file, if I attach cloud files, what will happen? Let me go back to John Smith, and I will do it from John's. Go back to chat, and what I want to do, I want to upload the file. Like instead of doing it from my local device, I want to do it from the cloud files. But before that, let me go to John's OneDrive for Business. This is Alice. I keep switching between Alice and John. So this is OneDrive for Business. This is John's OneDrive for Business. And here, if I go back to my files, this is the root folder, and I want to create a new file from here. So let me do a Word document. And let me do something like, again, Contoso says numbers, and let's just save this one and save it as Contoso says numbers. That's fine. If I go back, I can just close it. This is offset, so this is the number, this is the, okay, this is my file. And now if I want to share this file, it's here. If I look at the access here, manage access, it's only me, the owner, which is John Smith. I don't have any other users who can read or edit this file. I'll go back to Teams, and from here I'm gonna upload cloud files from here, and then I'm gonna upload this file, attach this file, and send it to Alice Williams. Okay, go back to Alice, make sure that she receives the file. Yep, that's okay. And of course, Alice can open the file and she can download. And let me do it now in the Word. Let me do it in the browser actually this time. And yes, I can see the file. And also, let me do something. I can edit as well. So let's do some numbers and just do this and close it. Just once, that's fine. And let me now go back to John's OneDrive for Business. So the file is still here. Teams did not move the file to the Microsoft Teams chat files, right? So if the file is already saved to your OneDrive for Business and you upload the file from there to Teams, Teams keeps the place, doesn't move it to the Microsoft Teams chat files. It keeps the files there. What it does, it only updates the access list. Now to prove that, let me go back to my files. Let me go back to my files, and from here, if I go to manage access, I should see Alice here, which is, yes, Alice Williams can edit. So what Teams does, just updates the access list for the files that are shared from OneDrive for Business. So updates the list and gives the participants the required access rights, which is the edit rights in this case. So that's the second scenario. And I can think of a third scenario. Let me go back here. And now we have John and Alice, and we looked at the files that we upload from the local drive and the files that we upload from OneDrive for Business. What if I add a third person to the conversation? Meaning if I turn this from one-on-one to a group conversation. I can think of Bob. I can add Bob to this conversation. So let's see what happens when I add Bob Adams. And I'm gonna say something like, hi. Okay, and now let me go to Bob Adams. So Bob is here. And we have, this is the group conversation between Alice, John, and Bob Adams. Now notice that Bob doesn't have access to the chat history. When you add a new user to an existing chat, they will only see the messages and shared files from the point they were added onwards. The previous chat history and shared files will not be accessible to the new participant. Now, since Bob doesn't see the file, let me reshare the file and check the permissions again. So what I'll do now, I'll go back to John's, and so now if I go back and I'll share the file from this device. So the first thing I want to do is share the file. I think I have it under C doc. If I'm not mistaken, I have Contoso deals. Let's share this again. Notice here we can reshare older file instead because it understands that this file is saved in the Teams chat. So I can reshare old files instead, which is the same one. And let's go. Yes, now if I go back, I want to check, just make sure that Bob gets the file. So Bob gets the file, that's okay. And if I go back now and go to my OneDrive, so the file is here. And this one here, if I look now at manage access, I should see Bob and Alice Williams. So John Smith is the owner, and Alice and Bob can edit the file. So just updated the access list, and I will do another test here. If I go back to John and let me attach the other one, the cloud file, which is the Word document. Let me go to shared, recent. Okay, my files. Okay, I'm in the wrong one. No, this is Bob. Let me go back to John's. So I said Bob, this is John's. And let me attach a cloud files. And from here, I want to attach this one. Now, Teams will update the access list for this file. Now, this file has only Alice Williams with the right. So let me click on attach. So let me send this to Bob, and then we have Alice as well in the conversation. Now, if I go back here and let's go back to my files. This is the file. I should have Bob Adams added to the list of the users who can edit the file. So a couple of key takeaways before I move to the next point. Teams stores uploaded files in the sender's OneDrive for Business in one-on-one and group chat conversations. Teams uses the Microsoft Teams chat files folder to save the files users upload from local drives. Teams manages the access rights and gives users or the participants edit rights to the shared files. And the last point, for the files that are shared from OneDrive for Business, Teams updates the access list and gives participants the required rights to access the files. And with that, let's go to the Add Cloud Storage. So if I go back to Teams and I go to Files, I can see that I can add cloud storage. If I click on this one, I can add cloud storage from Box and Google Drive. Microsoft Teams supports different cloud storage services. We can share files from Box, Dropbox, Dropbox for Business, Google Drive, Ignite, and ShareFile. You'll need to sign to the service with your account to be able to add files from those cloud storage services. By default, we only see Box and Google Drive. They are the ones that are turned on by default. If you want to enable others, you need to go to Teams Admin Center and enable the services. I have Bob Adams who has access to Google Drive. So let me go to Bob's. I go here and go to my files. So we have Google Drive here, and I can sign out because I'm signed in. So let me click on this one, and I think it will ask me to sign in again. And this is my account. And I have two files here. This is my Contoso file, and this is Contoso sales number. And from here, this is a presentation. I can copy the link. I can go back to my chat, and from here, let's just create. I want to do something like website. It's a bit slow today. Okay, now let's call this Contoso deals or something, and this is my URL, and let's click on save. So I can see this is the file. This is the Word document file. I thought this is the slides that I have created. I'll get to the slides in a second, but I can see this file here. And if I go back to Jones, now I should see here that I have the new tab. Will show up in a second. And this is the Contoso deal. I need to sign in as well because this needs Google account to sign in. I don't have the account. Let me go back to Bob, and if I go back to my files, click on my Google Drive, me copy this link now, go back here, and let's add another one, which is a website. Let's do a website again, and this is the URL, and I think this is the presentation if I'm not mistaken. So let's call PPT, click on save, and yes, this is the presentation, and now this is live. I can go through the slides, and this is how I can share files from other cloud storage services with users or chat participants in Teams. Finally, a couple of takeaways here. Teams supports Box, Dropbox, Dropbox for Business, Google Drive, Ignite, and ShareFile cloud storage services. Users can add cloud storage from the Files pivot in Teams. Users must sign into the service to download files and copy links to share in Teams. And finally, adding a tab in Teams is one of the quickest and most productive ways to collaborate on files in Teams, especially the website tab. That's all for this session. Let's explore Teams commands and the optional connected experience in the next session. Thank you.